You know, I seriously watch a lot of YouTube. I watch many channels about home renovation, about building, about fabricating, and I've learned a lot. But what none of these guys ever tell you is how much carrying stuff it is, how much lifting and moving stuff. Never heard anything about that. Now, day before yesterday, I had 3 bags of 35 kilo of lime. I had 5 bags of 35 kilos of sand. I have to load it up in the shop, into the trailer. I have to take it out of the trailer into the house. I have to put it from the house into the cement mixer. I have to drag it from the cement mixer to the wall where I'm putting it on. That's just an average day. Today I bought 3 bags of sand and 2 bags of lime, so I'm carrying today 115, 185 kilo in 5 runs. From the shop into the van, out of the van into the garden, and then in the mixer, and then to the wall. It's seriously a lot of work. And you know what? That is actually the heaviest part of the whole job. I dare to say. And you know what? If I were to do another project like this, logistics would be the first thing I would look at. Seriously, it would be the first thing. Imagine when you have an apartment in a busy urban area where you can't park in front of the door. Yeah. Or you're in a small village with really narrow, windy cobblestone streets where you can't really drive with a van and a trailer. Or, my God, you know, I'm lucky I can park the van and the trailer the whole day long in front of my door. And it's a small property. But imagine this, and the thing is, I could buy this in bulk and have it delivered. But I don't have the space. I don't have the space to put a big cubic meter bag of sand for my mortar. Maybe later. But yeah, this carrying stuff, dragging stuff, moving stuff is a serious thing to consider when you start a project like this. I tell you. So, something completely different now. I'm in Barcelona, together with Nadia, who works here on a boat. And,
hi, I'm Nadia. I work here on a boat.
And I just came over for the weekend, flew from Lyon airport to Barcelona airport. And I really love Barcelona. And the reason being is really the architecture. Gaudi, famous architect, Sagrada Familia, Park Güell, Casa Mila. We're going to have a look now, and I'm going to make lots and lots of video photos if I can, because it's so inspiring. These designs, incredibly inspiring. Not that I could, you know, implement all of them in our house, but
take inspiration.
Yeah, take inspiration. See what we do with it. Now, let's go. Casa Mila.
We said it at the same time.
Oh, Jesus.
This is exactly what you think.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, good morning. It's another beautiful day. Well, a lot of rain, but actually a lot of rain and a really high humidity, 97% is quite good for me, because I have done quite a bit of rendering yesterday. Have a look. And also a little bit of cementing, some repairing on the outside wall, and I can still feel the cement is damp, the mortar is damp, which means that it's very slowly curing, and that makes for a very tough mortar mix. Yeah, end result really. Right, what have I done? I have just installed the window frame, one window frame, without the windows, just the frame, to see whether everything fits. And everything fits, and there's enough room for expansion. And at this moment it's hanging water level straight. And you can also see that the wall is just going slightly outward, because this is straight vertical. And they have to be straight vertical, really important, because otherwise the doors will fall open or keep falling shut. So yeah, this is an important job. Now I'm really careful that I'm not distorting the frame too much. I've secured it with 2 screws in the lintel, drilled through holes through the frame, so it's hanging. And then I've secured left and right at the beam with these wedges I got, plastic wedges. I have to secure it on the bottom, wedge it in, and then yeah, then I'm going to install the windows and see whether they're properly open and close. Yeah, this is really a super exciting day for me. Been really anticipating this stage. A bit intimidated as well, because window frames, door frames, it's not my strongest point. It's quite specialized carpentry work. Cool. I'm gonna carry on. Sorry guys, sorry for the interruption, but I have something to say. You're watching now a re-edited, reconditioned episode of This Old French House. The episode that you're watching right now happened in the past. In fact, the house that we are rebuilding is basically finished right now, and it is up for sale. Yeah, unfortunately we have to sell it. Nadia and I have other plans. We are going to move to Nadia's mother country on the other side of the world. We can't have 2 houses at this moment. So yeah, the house is up for sale, and you know what? I really want you to buy it. The viewers of this channel should buy it. Not somebody who's never seen this channel before. So please see my email address below. If you want to have more information, write me a short email and I'll send you all the information you need to make an informed decision. Or an appointment to come by and have a look at the house. Thank you guys. Back to the video. Yeah, that was quite a lot of fiddling around, huh? What I should have done when I took the windows apart for varnishing is I should have marked which windows go in which frame, and also the hinges, they're screwed into the wood, how many turns they were screwed in the wood, because I think that was in the end the problem, is how deep the hinges were screwed in the wood. They're not in a 90-degree angle screwed in the wood, they're a little bit off, and it determines how far the windows are in the frame, how close they are together, how far apart. There's a lot of fiddling. I'm gonna seal the edges off with a very good sealant. I never save money, try to save money on sealant, on glue, on paint, that sort of stuff. That needs to be good, that needs to be really A brand, good quality. Because you need to really rely on it, you are relying on it. It was good to have a rack ready when you do this kind of work. So yesterday I have been able to successfully place the window frames and the windows. Quite a lot of fiddling around, but I've learned from it. I know which mistakes I should avoid for the windows on the other side, which is going to be the next step, and the other side is here. Let's have a look from the outside. I have secured the window frames with 2 screws each up into the lento, and then I have sealed the sides and the top with special glue for this kind of work. I'm a strong believer in glue. Glues these days are really advanced, really well engineered. I'm a stronger believer in glue than in hard connections like screws, because we get temperature differences here from like -10 in the winter to -38 in the summer, maybe even +40, so that's almost a 50 degrees Celsius temperature change. So these frames are gonna work, they're gonna expand and contract, and the glue will compensate for that. Metal screws will not, so I'm inclined to remove the screws while once the glue has properly cured. The glue has been sitting now for approximately 18 hours, and I don't believe it's cured. I will let it cure for, say, 24 hours from today before I do anything. I have to make the window sills. I'm gonna make them from these old tiles, cut these tiles to shape and render them with cement. But today is a great day for rendering. It'll be dry, it'll be about 20 degrees during the day, which is perfect. It's not too warm, not too cold, it's a good working day. So I have just wetted this part of the wall. make sure it's not too dry, and I'm gonna mix up my first batch of lime mortar. Today is gonna be a day of rendering the outside, rendering the last bit on the inside, and then possibly even one of the side walls. We'll see how far we get. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be quite a big difference tonight when I leave. Things I keep telling myself when I'm doing the work is basically the rules that I'm learning how to apply it. And one of these rules is not to panic when things fall. You know, when the mortar comes down, it falls on the floor. That's gravity. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to learn to live with that. And also, it's relatively little what falls on the floor. It's not that much. Another rule is you don't smear to wet mortar, you smear to the dry area. And no panic, when you see it's coming loose, just get another trowel full, smear it over. The problem will sort itself. I got the mix now that works for me, the ratio 2 sand, 1 lime. Give it time in the cement mixer to do its thing. It's a process, it's a chemical process what's happening. You can't rush that. And also, another rule is don't overwork the material. You can do that all later. What I'm doing now is actually overworking it. It's not smart, really. But you know, in the end, there's going to be a door over here. So, you know what, if I can do this in one coat, I'm also very happy. Because there is going to be a door over here. I'll probably do it in 2 coats. Okay, stop overworking it, Marius. It's just not going to end well. Okay, last bit, and then the next batch. Don't work it into the wet area, Marius. What did I just tell you? Right, I'm gonna make up a new batch. While I'm doing this rendering, I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the subscribers, the people who have commented. I think I've got well over 700 subscribers now in about 1.5 month time. It's completely exceeding my expectations. Not that I had any, but wow. I also noticed that YouTube is starting to take me serious as a content creator. I get emails from them how I should engage my audience more. One of the tips was to create polls, or yeah, poles or like things that you can win. Or like, what do you call them? You know, I ask a question and you have to give the answer, and then you can win something. I know one. Where the fudge is my hammer? And where did I leave my measuring tape? If you could tell me that, you can win something. You can win a working holiday to France. All inclusive. Well, you have to sleep in one bed in the camper van with me. But if you also like garlic sausages, then the stench will be negligible. It's not a super friendly product to work with. It's nothing like the modern renderings, you know, that are highly engineered. But I'm making progress. Oh, see what I mean? That is gravity. There's nothing you can do about it. You really have to learn to live with that. Oh, good. So, quick update. Day before yesterday I started rendering outside. I started rendering here where the red door is going to sit. In the morning I started rendering. I went all the way up to approximately here. That went all okay. It stuck on, and then I made another batch, a second batch that day, and started rendering up, and it all came falling down. I just couldn't make it stick. Made the mortar mix more wet, but it really didn't help. Now I think, at that time I thought it is because I had a little bit of an old batch mixed in with the new batch. And sometimes an old batch can work as a catalyst for a new batch to go off, especially with epoxies. I thought that was the case. So yesterday in the morning I did the same, started rendering, that went all okay, it stuck on. And in the afternoon I made a new batch, making sure that there's nothing of the old batch left in the new batch. And again, it did not stick, it did not work. Now I am at this moment thinking that it was caused by the weather, by the temperatures just heating up in the afternoon, getting warmer, more sunshine, especially yesterday was a really sunny day. And I think that the lime, the hydraulic lime that I'm using, just went off. It just started curing. While there was still a lot of moisture in the mix, but still it started curing. And that's what I'm thinking now. I'm not a professional in this. I really don't know. I'm learning as I go. But that's what I think. Now today, luckily, it's going to be overcast and it's going to be a bit rainy, and the air temperature relatively is relatively high, so that should be a perfect day for rendering. So this is considered the first layer, what you call the scratch coat. It's not scratched, but the first coat. And now I'm gonna try to make it all even, and hopefully tomorrow I can put that door back. I hopefully can put trellises up here in between the windows on this side and put the rose bushes back up. What I did yesterday was I started with the corners of these windows, the windowsills. We don't have windowsills on the big house, but I do like them. I do think they finish a little bit. You can see our neighbors across from the road, they do have windowsills. Yeah, I think it looks prettier. So and I had these tiles laying around. We got them out of the garden. Nadia wanted to throw them away, but I thought, no, we don't throw anything away. And I reused them, cut them, stuck them in the corners, and now I have to fill up the middle with some more tile and render it over with cement, and then it will look pretty cool. And that's actually also what I wanted straight from the beginning. I wanted to reuse old materials as much as I can. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do so in this small house, basically due to time constraints. Sourcing used material is a lot more time consuming than just buying it new. But anyway, today I have to admit my confidence levels really plummeted when that rendering started coming off and not falling, and I thought, what have I done wrong? And inside it went so well. Did I do it slower inside? But you know what? Inside the house, that wall that I did in last video or in some previous videos, it was cool. It stays cool inside that house. And there's no direct sunlight on the wall, so I really believe that it has something to do with that. This might mean that I should really pick my time for outside rendering. Mornings and then the afternoons maybe inside work. Right, what else? No, get to work. I think I've got the winning formula now. I made the mortar a lot wetter than before, and I'm doing bit by bit, not too much in a rush. That side polished up really nice. You know, once it's a little bit set, I'll wet it again and then go over it with a sponge and sort of polish it. making sure that everything is really wet. My confidence is slightly restored. It's not an easy product to work with, despite what other channels may propagate. It's really not an easy product to work with. If I would have done this with a conventional plaster, I would have finished the whole wall in one day. I haven't filmed the last few days just because the work became quite repetitive and I don't need to repeat everything to you that I'm doing. I think it's getting boring. What I've done is I have successfully finally rendered the whole wall. I have installed the red door back, painted and all, fresh, and I have repositioned the greenery. I'm really not good at that. I don't understand greenery. It just grows in all kinds of shapes and curves and it's never really level. I wish they could invent square plants. Yeah, so I've got to redo that. It's a bit odd right now. I have installed those windowsills cut out from the tiles that I had laying around. I have finished them off with some cement, but I need to address that again. And yeah, I mean the front side is finished. I still got to varnish those window frames and the windows itself, but this is 95% finished now. Yeah, I'm quite happy. It sort of looks like it was in a way, but freshened up. Yeah, let's have a look inside, see what I've done there.